I'm transforming my 147-year-old Victorian into my dream French country home. I'm starting with the dining room, and I have to get it all done before hosting the holidays this year. Welcome to Wrenhaven Home. I'm so glad you're joining me on this adventure. After 10 bottles of wallpaper remover and at least 14 hours of elbow grease, I am still not done with the wallpaper removal. But we are making really good progress, and I'm going to show you that in a minute. But first, my Voluspa order just came, and the house is such a mess I can't even get to my normal candle cupboard. So I'm going to unpack those so we can have a nice fragrance while we work today. Even though my environment is downright crazy right now with boxes and furniture and rugs everywhere, I can still preserve these little pockets of beauty along the way with fresh flowers and a really gorgeous smelling candle. Okay, wallpaper update. When I started scraping this, I did not know how this was gonna go because it had many layers of paint on it. Ironically, once I was able to get through the paint and down to the paper, I actually was able to sort of peel this off in bigger chunks than I expected. Now that did separate the paper, so I kind of got that top layer, and then underneath was the softer, more pulpy part of the paper, and that I could soak down with the remover. So it ended up being like a two-step process, and I basically just worked from the seams or from the corners, and so far that's been working pretty good. I don't want to jinx myself because I'm not done and I might run into a disaster, but so far so good. By the way, I am not using a steamer or anything like that. I'm just using my trusty DIY mix of 1 part water, 1 part white vinegar, and a couple of tablespoons of liquid fabric softener. Okay, let me come over here so you can see. So this whole corner behind me is done. And then that whole section in the middle there, that's done. And then the window over there, I think I've got, is it all done? Everything but under there by the, there's an outlet under there. I need to finish under there. And then let me turn you around. Okay. Over here in the corner, so this is what I meant by the outlet. So I stopped there. I need to get this whole section done. Don't mind the paper bag. The cats have been playing in here. Right? Yeah. And so this corner's done all the way up to there. That bit above the door I need to do still. This whole section is done. And then over here above the door is where I need to work next. So I need to go over here, and then let the camera catch up. That whole wall there has to be done still. Can we say hi, Ella? Say hello, Ella. So, as you can see, I've made some good progress, but I still have a lot more to do. However, I realized that I need to stop and make a decision about paint. The vision that I have for this room is one of romance and old world character and almost a French country fantasy kind of feel. And in order to achieve that, I need a paint color that can carry itself not only on the walls, but also even up onto the ceiling, because my plan is to have the same color throughout. I think that they call that color drenching now, but it's actually a really old technique, and you see it a lot in old French homes, old European homes in general. I want that old world European drama, that very sort of French chateau vibe, the kind that makes you want to linger over dinner by candlelight. That's what I'm going for in here. But what I haven't shared with you yet is where this whole vision originated. So last fall when we visited France, we went to Versailles. And it was phenomenal. But what might come to mind when you think of Versailles is, the iconic gates, maybe the Hall of Mirrors, which is of course magnificent, even those grand estate apartments, all amazing, loaded with Rococo detail and excess of gilding and just very ostentatious and over the top. But the thing that really stuck with me actually was our visit to the Petit Trianon, or the Little Trianon. That was Marie Antoinette's private escape from all the pomp and circumstance of Versailles, and it's like walking into another world. It's this soft, muted beauty and roses and garlands, botanical carvings more so than some of the more ostentatious things in Versailles proper. And instead of competing with the architecture there, the paint becomes more of like a supporting character, and that's what I'm looking for. Now, if you're like, girl, you do not live at Versailles. Yeah, I know. So the question becomes, how do I get the feeling, right? How do I get that atmosphere of a little chateau dining room in my own Victorian home? And a pretty plain Victorian at that. I have a folk Victorian, so it's not, you know, decorated to the nines like a Queen Anne might be with all the fancy millwork. So again, the paint is what's gonna carry this whole vision. So I have to choose wisely. So given what I just showed you, you're probably not at all surprised to see green paint samples. I got these all from Sampleize, which I'd never used before. And instead of peeling and sticking these onto the wall, I've just used a push pin so I can move them easily and try them on different walls and in different lighting over the last couple of weeks. The paint that I choose is gonna have to do a lot of heavy lifting, and it has to work in a lot of different spaces because this paint isn't just for the dining room. Actually, the dining room is sort of the beginning, but I'm hoping to carry this into the living room, which is attached, up the stairs, through the upstairs hall, and even into my office. So again, this paint needs to perform in a lot of different light conditions and size of rooms. So anyway, are you ready to hear what I chose? Of the 5 finalists, October Mist was just too gray. Antique Jade, it's too blue. And Saybrook Sage, it just disappears when the light changes, and not in a good way. Louisbourg Green is too dark and moody in the evening. Okay, so the winner is Clary Sage by Sherwin-Williams. I know, if you are into interior design at all, then you'll know that this is a very popular color right now. And I can see why. In fact, it's probably something I shouldn't admit, but I almost didn't want to choose it because it's so popular, but that would be silly. If it's the right color for this job and this vision, then it's the right color. And the way that it performed in all the different light conditions gives me faith that it will be able to handle what I'm going to ask of it, which is to actually go not just on the walls, but up and onto the ceiling as well. It's something you see in a lot of old European homes, and in fact, you see it in the Grand Salon at Petit Trianon and in the dining room there. So I think it's going to really help me get the atmosphere that I'm looking for in here. And it's gonna help really enhance the architectural detail that I'm gonna be adding, which of course I don't have yet. So how am I planning to do that? Well, you're gonna have to come back and see what my ideas are for that and how it goes. In the meantime, I need to go order paint, and I need to get the rest of the wallpaper off the walls so that we can get them all patched and prepped and primed and ready for what comes next. Let me know what you think of my paint choice, and I am looking forward to hearing from all of you down in the comment section below and seeing you all next week. Bye for now.